What's going on, Five9 friends? Iron King here as your host for your weekly dose of Gacha news. I'm recording this after seeing Sonic 2 and oh my god, guys, you have to see this movie, but sorry, this is the wrong channel for that. Anyways, this week we have updates on highly anticipated games, a collaboration, new games, and more. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to leave it a like, comment down below what gacha you're currently playing, and don't forget to subscribe to Five9 Gaming Mobile for all your mobile gaming needs. Now with that out of the way, let's get right into this week's news. Just as I mentioned, there wasn't much gameplay to talk about in last week's episode. Sword Art Online variant Showdown revealed some gameplay figures. Anyways, in case you missed it last week, Variant Showdown is a mobile game project celebrating the 10th anniversary of the SAO franchise. In the game, players take control of 3 party members and use special skills to dispose of their opponents. It's also said to feature characters from the entirety of the SAO series. The story is being written by series creator Reki Kawahara and is completely original to the game. But now let's talk about what we're all here for, the gameplay. One of Variant Showdown's key combat features is its switch system, which is imperative to winning battles. By switching, players are able to extend their combos and acquire a brief moment of invincibility, allowing them to dodge enemy attacks. Another important mechanic is the Awakening gauge. Once this gauge is maxed out, units will enter an Awakening state. This lowers units' cooldowns for skills and switches, maximizing combo potential. Additionally, while in the Awakening state, players also have access to an incredibly powerful move called a finishing skill. This ability is unique to each character and can only be used once per battle. If you want to pre-register for the game, check out the game's official website and Facebook page. Rewards like premium tickets, evolution crystals, a free copy of Asuna, and more will be given to players if 500,000 players register. Sword Art Online Variant Showdown is expected to release on Android and iOS devices sometime this year for global. Genshin Impact is launching a new event tomorrow called the Hues of the Violet Garden. To participate in the event in the Irodori Festival, players must be at least level 30 for Adventure rank and have completed Rito, Escape Plan part of the Arcane Quest, Chapter 2, Act 1, The Immovable God, and the Eternal Euthymia. During the span of the event, 4 different gameplay modes will be playable. The first is the Moon and Stars Inscribed, where you take pictures of special marked targets. The second is Theater Mechanicus, which is basically Genshin's spin on a tower defense mode. The third is Clash of Lone Blades, which is an intense boss battle against a swordmaster where parrying is essential. The last is called the Floral Courtyard, where players get to use their green thumb and craft pots with flowers according to a specific theme. Other additions include a new 5-star sword, artifacts to collect, the ability to craft different spices, new research missions, and other ways to use the in-game camera for rewards like Primo Gems and more. For a more in-depth look at everything the event has to offer, please look in the description below to check out the full trailer for yourself. The Hues of the Violet Garden event launches tomorrow for Genshin Impact, which is immediately available on Android devices, as well as iOS, PC, and PS4 and PS5 consoles worldwide. If you're looking for a new gacha to try out right now, look no further than Guardian's Tales. The game is currently having a 50 free summons event. Yup, you heard me. 50 free summons or 5 consecutive pulls. The event is only available until the 18th of this month, with 10 free summons being awarded to players for each time they log in. So you still have time to get some free summons. If you've never heard of Guardian's Tales, it's an adventure RPG that features puzzles, epic boss battles reminiscent of retro gaming days, over 40 unique pixelated characters to collect, with more than 800 pieces of equipment to collect as well. Additionally, there's a customizable floating island for players to hang out in with their units, Easter eggs galore, guilds to join, PvP, and special dungeons too. If any of this sounds intriguing to you, Guardian's Tales is immediately available on Android and iOS devices for global. This next story may come as a surprise announcement to some, but it was recently revealed that Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege will be getting a mobile version. Now I know this game isn't a gacha, but we try to give all mobile games some love on the show. If you've never played Siege, it's a tactical first-person 5v5 shooter with multiple unique operators to choose from. The mobile version promises to provide that same experience from consoles and PC and bring them to our mobile devices. Players on attack will start off the match deploying observation drones to scope out the battlefield, identifying the operators of opposing players and the location of where they need to plant the bomb. Both teams have the ability to breach through destructible walls, ceilings, floors, and more, while defenders set up various barricades and lines of defense to impede their attackers' entry. So far, the maps confirmed are Bank and Border, with more on the way. The gameplay modes available will be Secure Area and Bomb. During each round, players will only have one life, so they have to make sure they make it count, either by playing it safe or being a risk taker and getting the advantage on their opponent. No matter which way you play, Siege Mobile will provide players with exclusive controls to fit players' comfort so they can play on the go. For more information and a chance to participate in any upcoming beta tests, please visit the game's official website. Although the anime may have been delayed, there's still more on the horizon for One Piece fans. A new mobile title called One Piece Dream Pointer by Netmarble was recently announced for CN, and it's already available for registration. The game itself is described as a 3D action-adventure RPG that'll start after the reunion of the Star Hat Pirates. The game will be framed in portrait mode and will feature 148 minutes of cutscenes in HD with the original cast of voice actors reprising their iconic roles. Players will have the ability to explore certain areas freely and get to visit many different areas from the anime. For combat, players select skill cards to activate attacks, with the battle system being turn-based, perfect for fans of classic RPGs. As previously mentioned, the game is available for pre-registration. For those who do decide to register, they'll be rewarded with 100 diamonds and a single recruitment ticket. As of writing this story, there's been no word of a global release, but with how popular of a series One Piece is, I imagine it'll eventually make its way over to the West and other regions as well. One Piece Dream Pointer will be available on Android and iOS devices for CN sometime in the near future. If you'd like to check out more about the game, please visit its official website. Just know that you'll have to translate it. And to check out the trailer for yourself, please look in the description below. Another week, another update on Full Metal Alchemist Mobile. This time we got an update on character designs for Scar, Solf, Zumi, and Vaughn, who will all come along with the game itself when it releases this summer. Scar is the last remaining survivor of his people that were massacred by the Amastrius army. He hates national alchemists and devotes his life to avenge those who wronged him and his people. Solf is a Crimson Lotus alchemist who lives for the thrill of battle. He was also involved in the same battle where Scar's people were wiped out. Zumi is a master alchemist who specializes in martial arts and is also the mentor of the Elric brothers. Her teaching methods can be pretty cruel, once leaving the brothers to fend for themselves on a deserted island for an entire month. Lastly, there's Vaughn, a skilled alchemist and the father to the Elric brothers. He calls himself a monster for past events and left home for a long time for an unknown reason after failing to treat his son. For those unaware, Full Metal Alchemist Mobile is a 3D tactical RPG where players will need to make use of character skills and linked attacks to defeat enemies. It's a large-scale project that will allow players to experience the iconic moments of the anime in an all-new way. Currently, the game is expected to release this summer for Android and iOS devices for JP, with no word on any other versions at this time. With the developers giving updates on the game as frequently as they are, it is pretty promising that they'll in fact hit their summer release window. But for now, we'll just have to wait and see. Touhou fans rejoice! A new installment into the series called Touhou Arcadia Record was recently announced. Unfortunately, we weren't shown any gameplay, but we do know that the game will be a side-scrolling Danmaku game, or also known as a bullet hell. It's been said that more details about the title's gameplay will be revealed when its official website, YouTube channel, and Twitter pages go live. For story, the game will take place in Gensugo, a paradise island isolated from the outside world. On the island, ghosts and all things not accepted by the outside world are welcome. The identity of the protagonist of the game is unknown, but they just so happen to appear on Gensugo. All he knows is that he has a strong desire to record things on the island. On his journey while working on the Gensugo Illustrated Catalog, he meets up with many girls and gets involved in a plethora of adventures that are both thrilling and hilarious. If you're a fan of the Touhou series or find the game intriguing, the game is already available for pre-registration. If 500,000 players register, all players will be rewarded Chiruno's costume, 4,500 boundary spears, which is the game's gacha currency, a limited icon frame, and 4 pieces of 5-star equipment. Touhou Arcadia record is expected to release sometime this year for Android and iOS devices for JP. For collaborations this week, we have Gran Saga, which will be having a crossover with Final Fantasy 15. This will also be the first ever collaboration for the game in general, making it a pretty big deal. Unfortunately, as of writing this story, there isn't too much information to share besides the announcement itself. That being said, by the time this episode goes live, it is expected that there will be loads of details on how this collaboration is going to operate. As for Gran Saga itself, it's an MMORPG developed by N-Innocence that's available to play in South Korea as well as Japan. One of its key features is that there's cross-play between the game's mobile and PC versions, with other features including hack-and-slash gameplay and a variety of weapons for players to collect. In the game, players switch between different Grans, which is what gives weapons their power. Switching will also allow players to adjust their moveset on the fly, allowing for some pretty unique combat opportunities. If you'd like to download the game in advance to get ready for the collaboration, Gran Saga is immediately available on Android and iOS devices as well as PC for KN and JP. For our last story of the week, we have N-Innocence, an upcoming mobile title that's set to release this month. The game is a 3D action RPG that's being developed by SAO, which was delayed for system renewal and content adjustment, but now it's ready to release. The title aims to provide players with a high-quality action RPG experience with cutting-edge 3D CG graphics. The story is being based on the mythology of gods, with the game's first chapter focusing on Norse mythology, the second being focused on Japanese mythology, and the third on Greek mythology. In combat, the gameplay will consist of side-scrolling battles with a variety of action elements. Players form parties of 4 and have the ability to switch between characters during battles. To attack, players tap the screen, and for combos, continuous taps are done to deal impressive amounts of damage. There's also a special move called Kamui, which can be activated when the attack gauge becomes completely full. If the game sounds up your alley, N-Innocence will be available on Android and iOS devices later this month on April 20th for JP. And that wraps up this week's episode. Thanks as always for tuning in, and for the latest in everything gacha and mobile gaming related, make sure to tune in for every episode of Gacha News. Also, see Sonic 2, it's insane. Iron out. Peace, guys.